guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I want to talk about starting Theo on solids. He's 10 months old now, so he's been eating solids for like 4 months now. I just wanted to kind of get a bit of experience under my belt before I shared a video about feeding babies food. I'm definitely not an expert. This is just from my own experience. So I had heard a lot about baby-led weaning. I got a couple books from the library about it. I did a lot of research. I wanted to do some version of that rather than start with like the purees and the baby foods and all of that. So I did my research and then I just kind of winged it. His first foods were sweet potato and avocado. This was just shy of 6 months. There are certain criteria, I guess, that your baby has to meet before you introduce solids. And so one of them is being able to sit up on their own so they don't like slouch down or anything. They have to be able to bring things to their mouth and they have to show interest in food. I think those are the main ones. I've tried purees and at first he would just spit them back out. He probably just didn't understand like what to do with it, but I found that giving him like chunks of food, stuff that he could chew on, he did a lot better with that. He enjoyed it a lot more, being able to munch on things and like gnaw on them with his little gums. After a while, he would eat purees, and that is a great way to get some extra like fruits and veggies in. He is not the biggest fan of just straight fruits. He's recently started eating strawberries. He'll do watermelon. I've done like blueberries and raspberries and stuff in one of those like little mushy handheld things, but I try to give him like blueberries and mango, and like those are delicious, yummy things. And he's like, what is this? I don't know, maybe he's more of a savory guy. Pouches are a great way to get that stuff in. He really likes chewing on stuff. He always has from the beginning. More so now that he's starting to teeth, he just likes being able to munch on stuff. I got him both a sippy cup and kids hydro flask with a straw because I wanted him to, you know, eventually learn how to drink out of a straw, but also have an option of a sippy cup. He just, in the past week, and like when I'm filming this, he's just shy of 10 months, but he just learned how to drink out of a straw, but he loves it now. But I have like this giant, it's not a hydro flask, it's a Simply Modern, but he'll drink out of this one. This is the first straw he learned how to, he drank out of, fun fact. But you want to offer them water with their meals. A mistake I made like in the very beginning, and he got constipated and it was like hard for him to poop. We recently discovered he likes smoothies. He likes bagels, bread, crackers, like all those great things. He really likes broccoli. He likes rice and beans. He likes strawberries and watermelon. Pretty much eats whatever we eat. And if you're ever eating and don't make him some, he'll come over and like pull himself up and stare at you until you feed him whatever you're eating. He doesn't eat huge amounts always. Sometimes he does like pound down 2 or 3 servings. Like baby servings. Other times he's like, no, I don't want to eat this, and so it is what it is. He's just getting his bottom 2 teeth, but before that I would always make sure that whatever I gave him, he could like munch up or mush up with his gums. So you want to be careful giving him things that he could accidentally get a big chunk of. Like apple, you're not supposed to give babies whole pieces of apple. But he also likes chewing on weird things, like he loves celery sticks and he'll just like munch on them, but he can't get like a big chunk of that. One thing we've learned is gagging is totally normal, but it's still terrifying. Every now and then he'll get like super excited about eating things, and even though I give him like small pieces or things he can like mush up, he'll like try to swallow it too soon, or it'll get too far back and it'll hit his gag reflex, and so he'll just gag. At first, your baby is going to make more of a mess than they're going to eat. They don't really eat anything. They'll like mush it around and spit it back up, and that's fine. Like they have to learn how to chew and swallow, and like they're literally learning how to do those things. So you'll make them like the tiniest amount, so just spit it back up. Slowly but surely, they'll start eating more and more and like actually swallowing that food, and it's very satisfying. They'll still make a mess, and my sister keeps telling me like the messier they are eating, the better, because that's how they like discover and learn about things. So just let your babies be messy. So I'll either cut his food into like finger-sized strips, maybe a little bit thicker, but like fingers, so that they can grab onto them and chew on them, or other things I'll cut them into like little pieces so he can get them in there, but they're not big enough for him to choke on, but he can still like mash them around. He can pinch things now so he can pick them up, but when they first start eating, it's like they can't pinch. I only put a few pieces of food on his high chair at a time, or I just give him like one strip of food and let him work on that, because he might get too excited and try to shove too much in, or he'll like make a mess and push all of his food off instead of eating it. So I kind of give him a little bit of time to like eat a couple pieces, a couple more, eat a couple pieces, give him a couple more. I know he's done eating when he either keeps dropping it on the floor or he just starts mashing onto his high chair. And like, I let him make a mess. It's fine. That's how I know he's done. Before he'd gotten good at like picking stuff up on his own and feeding himself, I would do a combination of like putting pieces of food or strips of food on his tray for him to eat, but it also like spoon feed him things like rice and beans. Now he can pick up little beans by himself, like little black beans and stuff. But if it's like a rice and bean dish, I'll feed him some off of a spoon and then let him like eat some black beans so he can practice that pinching motion. Avoid spicy things, like even things that aren't very spicy to you. I like spicy things, so if I'm making like a curry dish, he loves curry, but I'll pull out his portion and I'll spice mine separately. Michael's not a huge fan of spice either, so I usually just like spice mine up once it's in my bowl. I introduced peanut butter to him pretty early on. Neither of our families have food allergies, so I wasn't really concerned about him having them. Gave it to him a couple times, kept an eye on him, and like was ready to act if anything happened, but he's fine. He can have peanut butter. And I know sometimes allergies can develop later in life, so just always keep an eye on your kid when they're eating in case they like gag on something, choke on something, have a reaction to something. You never know. I will link some products that I found very helpful down below. We got like a clear floor protector to put under his high chair. I really like his high chair because it's like a high chair booster seat. It doesn't have legs. You have to put it on a chair. And we have it on a folding chair now because we have like nice dining room chairs, and he just gets so grubby and touches things, and I'm fine with him making a mess. I just gotta like make sure he can't touch anything that could get ruined. We have silicone bibs with like a little tray that are amazing. I got a couple like different spoon utensils for him. I just slowly introduced stuff, and I made it very plain at first, like just giving him like avocado or just giving him sweet potato. But now I just give him a version of whatever we eat. That's what's worked for us, and I just kind of like wing it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.